this team is getting incredibly frustrating to watch. I don't know why I watch them still, but it's what I do, isn't it? I watch all the Philadelphia sports teams, and we live through the frustrations and we live through the greatness. And right now, we're going through an insanely bad drought right now with the Philadelphia Phillies. They're at the lowest of the low right now. They just can't find any way to click. There's just nothing going with this team right now, and why should I waste the anger? Why should I waste all the energy on this team? Because Gabe Kapler did, and didn't spark anything. So, yeah, why should I waste all that energy? Because Gabe Kapler did it, didn't work. So, and you also, this team, waste a really solid outing by Vince Velasquez. Because he goes 5 innings, strikes out 5, only gives up 1 hit, which was a home run. But aside from that, he looked pretty solid. And for this start right now for Vince Velasquez, this was an opportunity for him to get a second chance at probably cracking the rotation again, getting back into that fifth part of the rotation. And I think right now he earns a second chance right now to get another start. I'm not going to go full-fledged saying just put him back in the fifth slot of the rotation. Just give him one more start. Give him another start to prove what he has done. Hopefully this isn't a fluke. So, yeah, the team right now, they just wasted really good pitching from Vince Velasquez. And you can also blame this on the offense too, even though they did score 3 runs for him. They didn't come up clutch in the late when we had chances to put runs on the board. And also the bullpen, they do the latest bullpen things and they blow the ball game. So what else is new with this team? The bullpen sucks right now. We can't score runs. You're not going to win ball games when your pitching and your offense isn't stepping up. When your starting pitching is actually having pretty 2 solid games the past 2 games so far. Our offense hasn't stepped up and our bullpen hasn't stepped up, so nothing's clicking right now. So, like I said, Vince Velasquez, the only run he gave up and the only hit he gave up was a home run to Riddle, which made it 1-0 Marlins. But then the Phillies in the bottom of the third, Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper, they both go back-to-back, which is hopefully is a good sign because the power numbers just haven't been there for the Phillies lately. And having your 2 best power hitters going back-to-back hopefully is a bright sign because this team needs a bright sign somewhere. Hopefully this possibly can spark a little bit of offense from Bryce Harper and Rhys Hoskins over the next few games because we're really not getting the production from Harper. We're not getting the production from Rhys. Other players as well. You're not getting production from JT Realmuto, who's also in a big slump. Players like Gene Segura, they're not doing anything either. So hopefully Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Harper, they can see something from this ball game and get something going for once because it's been way too long. So also, in the bottom of the 5th inning, Cesar Hernandez, he gets on with a single. With Bryce Harper up the plate, wild pitch, it moves him up to second. And then Bryce Harper singles up the middle. It's a really light ground ball that goes up the middle. It's able to score Cesar Hernandez to make it 3-1. But then Bryce Harper, he decides to get a little aggressive and tries to go to second base. The play is really close, but he's called out. But on the replay, you can judge it a little bit. See, it's way too close to tell. And the Phillies, they didn't review it because possibly it was way too close to even overturn. So I know I like aggressiveness, but in that situation, the Marlins weren't going to throw home in general because Cesar was basically easily able to run the home. So I don't know the idea right there from Bryce Harper to go at second base because they're just the running opportunities and the running decisions that we have been making have been really poor. We've been seeing way too many players get thrown out from either a mile or just way too close, and I don't know if that goes to the base coaches or that just goes to the players making the decisions. It's most likely to the base coaches. But it just shows right there that was Bryce Harper being a little too aggressive when he shouldn't have been. Just take first base and you have a chance for Rhys Hoskins to do something, even though he popped out the next at bat. But still, you had a man on for Rhys Hoskins with 1 out. But in the end, Bryce Harper got thrown out and Rhys Hoskins popped out the end of the inning. So nothing really happens there. So, like I said, Vince Velasquez, he threw 5 strong innings. And then the 7th inning comes around. Adam Morgan comes in, and he's coming off of injury. He sucked. He did not look good today at all. I can get that's coming off of an injury, but he just didn't look good at all. The Marlins got a couple runners on. Castro hits a single to drive in a runner, make it 3-2 Phillies. And then freaking Wilkin Castillo, the man who hasn't played an MLB game in 10 years since 2009. Which means he hasn't had a hit in the MLB since 2009. What does he do? Doubles down the right field line to make it 4-3 Marlins. Huh? Why? What? That just proves we don't have nice things. A guy that hasn't played in the majors for 10 years hit the double down the line to score 2 runs. And he felt good. He felt good right there, man. Jeez. I just can't. That's still processing through my mind that we allowed a guy who hasn't been in the majors for 10 years to drive in the winning runs. That just. It's not clicking right now. So, also, top of the 8th inning, J.D. Hammer's on the mound. The Marlins got a couple runners on. Anderson, he hits a really hard ball over left field. It bounces off the wall pretty fast, and Jay Bruce, he actually plays it really well to get it back into the infield. It only scores 1 run, and Gene Segura makes a really good play to first, which catches Anderson in a rundown because he thought the person on second base was going to go third. But the ball was hit way too hard, and it came back into the infield too quickly, so that was a pretty bad running mistake there because he expected his other teammate to go to third base where he didn't, so he got caught in a little rundown right there. And also the Marlins, just today in general, they were getting caught in rundowns pretty often in this ball game. Like a couple rundowns from home plate, the rundown that Anderson got caught in. They were making a few running mistakes, and the Phillies just didn't seem to take advantage of those mistakes that they were making. So, bottom of the 8th inning, Cesar this really bothers me right now. Cesar Hernandez, he gets a single down the left field line. He lackadaisically runs to first base on a play where he could have easily got 2. And that has happened way too often. I know there's been plays where we've been too aggressive, but there's also been plays where we just haven't been aggressive enough. That was a blooper down the left field line. It was going to be a single by a mile, and Cesar Hernandez just wasn't running out of the box. It's either he thought that was going to be caught instantly or he thought it was going to go foul, but no matter what, you should be hustling that ball out. You should be running right out of the box, and that ball landed, so you should be on second base, but matter of fact, he didn't get the second base. So you know what Bryce Harper does in his next at-bat? He grabs into a double play. So instead of talking Cesar Hernandez on second with a runner in scoring position for Bryce Harper, we're talking no one on base right now because he grounds into a double play. And then Rhys Hoskins, he doesn't do anything either. So we lost an opportunity right there to score some runs. And going into the 9th inning, the Gene Segura doubles, Scott Kingery singles, Roman Quinn walks. But then before the Roman Quinn walk, Sean Rodriguez, he popped out with a runner in scoring position, so that's nice. Roman Quinn, he gets the walk. And then we get Cesar Hernandez. 2 outs. Bases loaded. What does he do? Pops up. And the ball game's over. So, the Phillies lose their 6th in a row. 15 out of the last 21 they have lost. And they suck right now. And it's not fun to watch. And I want to go back to the Gabe Kapler incident, because in the 4th inning, it looked like Scott Kingery, he got hit with the baseball as he was swinging, but the umpire on the field, he called it a swing instead of being a hit by pitch. So, because it's like the rule is, if you get hit by a pitch but you swing, it's going to count as a strike and not a hit by a pitch. And Gabe Kapler comes out to argue, and this man is furious right now because he's going insane arguing with the umpires right now. And you hear the fans at first boo a little bit with the arguing, but then once they saw the umpire eject Gabe Kapler out of the ball game, everyone just goes ecstatic. They're cheering, they're applauding Gabe Kapler because this is the first time in his major league managing career that he has been ejected from a ball game. And that just shows he was trying. That was a really great moment to get some type of spark out of this team. It just didn't work. And I will applaud Gabe Kapler for doing that because that was the right thing to do. That was the right thing to get your team going. It's just, I can't blame that on Gabe Kapler because he was just trying to spark his team up, and he was also letting out frustration from the stretch they have been on. So, I'm not putting blame on Gabe Kapler at all right there. This is the team just not executing. This is the team not going out there and performing. You can't be putting blame on Gabe Kapler for every loss, for everything, or for benching players who are not hustling, because we really have no other option on the bench to replace these players who are not hustling, like Cesar Hernandez, like Gene Segura. You have to play these players because there's no one on the bench to replace them. So, you can't really blame anything on Gabe Kapler right there. He's just trying to get his team sparked up, and it just didn't work. This is the team not going out there and executing, like I just said. And they're just in a really bad stretch right now. And in Gabe Kapler's post-game press conference, he just didn't have an answer for it. You could tell from his post-game press conference, he was just pissed. He was pissed at everything. Someone asked him a question about the Cesar Hernandez not hustling. He said, "Yep, he should have been on second base." He was answering everything honestly. He wasn't cutting out anything. He wasn't replacing words. He was speaking on it the most truth I've seen him speak in a while. And because you could tell from that press conference, he was pissed off. He's pissed off at the way his team is playing. He's pissed off at that his team is not winning because he knows his team is way better than this. And we all, as a fan base, we know this team is better than what they are showing right now. Because there is too much talent on this team to not be winning ball games. There is just something not clicking with this team. There's something wrong in that clubhouse because nothing's clicking. There's no sense of urgency. There's just no energy with this team right now. They just look dead. And how can you say a solution right now? How can Gabe Kapler think of a solution right now? Because he knows his team is better and he doesn't know what the problem is because everything is going wrong at once. So I can't provide you the solution. I don't know. There's a lot of wrong with this team. The offense is not going, and the pitching just doesn't want to. The bullpen actually doesn't want to show up when our starting pitching wants to show up. And you can also switch that around. Sometimes when our startings don't want to show up, our bullpen will show up, but the offense all around just won't show up. Or you can say that the offense will show up, and the pitching in a whole just doesn't want to do anything. So the Phillies are in the worst of the worst stretches right now, and I don't know if there's going to be a way out of it. And we got a game tomorrow against Miami Marlins, 1:30 game, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to expect with this ball club right now. I don't know if you gotta make a statement game out of this because you can't get swept by the Miami Marlins. Even it's already embarrassing enough that you lost a series to them. You can't get swept by them. So find a way to gain some momentum. Find a way to gain some energy because right now you're in a terrible stretch, and I don't see a way out of it right now. So what are your guys' thoughts on this game? And what are your guys' thoughts on the Phillies right now? So don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.